Yes, good morning and welcome.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Ms. Forward.
Chair, the witness is ready to be sworn in.
Thank you. Good morning, Brigadier.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Brigadier, I want to hear you pronounce your surname yourself, please.
Matjeng.
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 Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Matjeng.
Matjeng. Matjeng.
Matjeng. Thank you, Brigadier. Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you, Brigadier.
Commissioners, as we've done with other witnesses in phase 2, Brigadier Matjeng will be taken through her statement, and I will endeavor to only ask clarity-seeking questions and try not to interrupt her as much as possible. And thereafter, I'll explore various themes arising from her testimony and the testimony of other witnesses before this commission. Brigadier, just to confirm what you have in front of you, you should have a file that's marked statement, chats, and annexures. Do you confirm that this file is in front of you?
I confirm.
And if you open the file, up top on the statement will be your statement first. The second tab will contain the WhatsApp extract that was extracted from Mr. Matlala's phone. And the last tab contains various annexures to the WhatsApp chats and other documentation. Do you confirm that your file is in the same order as mine?
I confirm.
Thank you. And if you then go to your statement, do you confirm that this is a statement that you have prepared for purposes of giving testimony before this commission?
I do confirm.
And if you go to page 12 of your statement, do you confirm that that is your signature at the end of your statement?
I confirm.
And do you confirm the truthfulness of the contents of the statement?
I confirm.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, if we go to the beginning of your statement, can you explain to the commissioners who you are, the role you occupy, and your service history within the South African Police Service?
Okay. I'm a female police officer with the rank of a brigadier and currently working as a section head quality management in criminal record and crime scene management at Division Forensic Services. I'm stationed at 271 Francis Bart, Botongo Plaza West at Pretoria.
Brigadier, you can proceed to deal with aspects of your statement arising from that section as well as your service history. So you can go straight through.
I was transferred to this position with effect from the 16th of October 2023, as it appears from my job description below. I play no role in the award of a tender under discussion. Should I read 3 and 4? Or must I go to my service history?
Brigadier, you can read 3 and 4, or you can skip to your service history. It's really just an opportunity for you to put your version on the record.
Okay. My service history, I set out my career history in the South African Police Service as follows. 1994, I joined the SAPS, went to basic training at Oudtshoorn. In 1996, 0701 to 2004, 1131, I moved through the ranks of sergeant, inspector, captain in the criminal record and crime scene management training as a trainer. 2004-1201, I was promoted to a superintendent, by then, now is a lieutenant colonel, as a coordinator of automated fingerprint identification system. In 2010-08-01, I was further promoted to a colonel as a skills development facilitator of Division Forensic Services. In 2012-04-01, I was promoted to the rank of a brigadier as a provincial head of criminal record and crime scene management in Limpopo. In 2016, I moved with the same rank to Division Human Resource Development as a section head for crime detection development. 5.7, in 2023-10-16, then I was transferred to Division Forensic Services as a section head for quality management, criminal record and crime scene management. My qualifications are as follows. I obtained my national diploma in policing from Technicon SA, and I also attended management courses and other related certificates to the post.
Brigadier, just before we move forward, your voice is a little faint, so we're going to try to move the mics closer to you.
My apologies, I have an irritation on my throat, but I'll try to be as loud as possible.
Thank you. Brigadier, you can then go on to your current responsibilities.
My responsibilities at my current post are the following. Manage the integrated quality management system to the component criminal record and crime scene management, the management and implementation of quality assurance and quality control principles in line with international organizational standard ISO 9001, 17020, 31000, and 17025. The management of environmental compliance principle in line with the Occupational Health and Safety Act and related regulation, including ISO 4501 and 14001 respectively. My responsibilities in respect of environmental compliance functions entail the following. Manage the occupational health and safety, legal appointments, risk assessment, emergency preparedness, occupational hygiene survey, waste management, medical surveillance, and biological monitoring. Safety, health, and environmental inspection and audits in compliance to Occupational Health and Safety Act number 85 of 1993. Manage the coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring, which is a planned program of periodic health monitoring for employees exposed to the specific workplace hazard such as lead, noise, biological, radiation, and chemical agent. Number 10, it must be noted that the criminal record and crime scene management environment has various occupational exposure risks which mandates the employer to conduct medical surveillance by a qualified occupational health and occupational medical practitioners. In the SAPS, such services are outsourced to the health risk manager, and the issuing of authorization is managed by Division Supply Chain Management, Safety, Health Management Office. How I got to know about the health risk manager contract service provider. Months in March 2024 into my new responsibility, I think I was 6 months into my new responsibility as the section head of quality management, criminal record and crime scene management. I became aware of the health risk manager contract. The awareness was triggered by the coming to an end of the previous health risk manager contract, Metropolitan. There were discussion of the expired contract of Metropolitan. It was further alluded that there was an extension granted of 3 months to Metropolitan until a new service provider for health risk management is appointed. That's when I requested more information so that I can understand the implementation of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program within the component CR and CSM. Within health risk manager scope, since the environmental compliance officers, which is ECHO, within the quality management structure, are responsible for the coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. 13, later in the month of June, the management of quality management was informed by Division Supply Chain Management, SHE Management, that the new health risk manager service provider contract was awarded to Medicare 24 Tshwane District. I then informed my supervisor, Major General Manamela, that I know Mr. Matlala and explained the nature of our relationship, and I further asked if I should recuse myself from the responsibility of managing the medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. Major General Manamela indicated that this is part of my scope of work and cannot relegate that responsibility, especially that the facilitation and coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program is solely the responsibility of environmental compliance officer, which we will refer to as ECHO. And if there are challenges, I still need to address them professionally. It must be noted that I was not part of the bid specification committee or bid evaluation committee, nor bid adjudication committee, and was not aware of the service providers that submitted the bids for the tender, or any engagement with any previous health risk manager that were contracted by SAPS.
Yes, Brigadier, you can continue.
Responding to the meetings with Medicare 24, as part of the onboarding in the component quality management, I was informed by my supervisor, Major General Manamela, that when the new health risk manager is appointed, presentations are made to ensure that the contractor understands the core business and occupational exposures into forensic services, and the applicable medical metrics, including required report for management reporting, including holding meetings with the appointed health risk manager. I was further informed that it is a norm that when contracts are awarded, end user and contractor, stakeholder supplier engagement meetings will be held with the appointed service provider. This practice is also applied in the occupational exposure surveillance, waste management, proficiency testing, and personal protective equipment contracts. Medicare 24 meeting was held to plan the medical assessment to ensure that service delivery is not affected, including the discussion of abnormal results so as to assess the effectiveness of internal controls, challenges, experience during the implementation of the contract, as well as familiarizing familiarizing the service provider with the environment. Numerous meetings were held post the award of the contract between SAPS and the contractor, Medicare 24, where I was in attendance. The first meeting was held in July 2024 at head office, chaired by the component head of Employee Health and Wellness, Major General Temba, Management of Quality Management, Contract Manager, which is Brigadier Netengwe, Supply Chain, which is Colonel Mugadi, and representative of Metropolitan, as well as representative of Medicare, where the handing over process was discussed. The second meeting was held on 2024-08-06 at CAT VIP offices. The overview of forensic service and medical metrics, wherein SHE management representative and quality management senior managers were also in attendance. There were several meetings that were held with the service provider Medicare 24. The meeting in question, which is on my WhatsApp exchange between myself and Mr. Matlala, was to discuss challenges relating to the implementation of medical surveillance in the component CR and CSM. There were challenges experienced, and I indicated to my supervisor, Major General Manamela, who in turn requested that I must arrange an agent meeting with the service provider. Due to the agency of the meeting and knowing the delays we will normally experience with responding to emails, I then sent Mr. Matlala a WhatsApp to confirm our telephone conversation with a message and details of the meeting. The meeting was held on 2025-01-17 at Medicare offices with Major General Manamela, myself, I think here I've just skipped myself. The meeting was held in 2025-01-17 at Medicare offices with Major General Manamela, myself, and Mr. Matlala. And we discussed medical surveillance authorization issued to the component CR and CSM, which were progressing at a very slow pace. Outstanding certificate of fitness for members who attended the medical assessment, and challenges raised by employees. The last meeting was held on 2025-04-16 at Medicare offices and was attended by quality management managers and supply chain SHE management, and the following were discussed: authorization issued since the contract inception, finalized medical assessment, scheduling of appointments, outstanding certificate of fitness, 24.2, medical surveillance rollout for 2025 to 2026. Since we were in the year, the financial year 2024 to 2025. Establishment of a framework for ongoing communication and performance tracking. It must be noted that the certificate of fitness is critical for the forensic services for early detection of occupational diseases. Proceed.
Yes, you can proceed.
WhatsApp communication regarding the contract. Communication between myself and Medicare 24 was on email, telephone, and WhatsApp. Due to the delays or non-responsive on the email, we then agree with Mr. Matlala that we can communicate by WhatsApp or telephonically, because that line of communication was long established, where we will also talk about our private matters. He will relay his frustrations about the contract, how they are financially affecting him, such as late payments and partial payments which are made by SAPS, which is affecting Medicare 24 ability to pay the subcontracted service providers. Delays in facilitating the authorization by making appointment with his contracted service providers, as most contracted service providers do not want to work with him because the company is owing them. Lastly, the stalling of work by SAPS in other streams, which is incapacity leave, short-term sick leave, awareness program, and the health screening. On 2025-02-012, I received a call from Mr. Matlala, who was frustrated, and he informed me that he received a non-performance letter from SAPS, but his lawyers already responded. I was surprised by the response letter, as he did not mention some of the issues which he was long complaining about. I then highlighted to him that he could have included the issues of non-payment issues, failures to have quarterly meetings with the company as per service level agreement, and also the issues whereby members were insisting on going to their preferred doctors. On 2025-02-19, while I was on call with him discussing other matters, he then informed me that when medicals were conducted in our environment, there were more than 300 no-shows or non-arrival, which can be a misappointment for medical surveillance. They conducted from 2024-08-19 to 2024-08-23. Then I disputed the figure and informed him that there was 2 follow-up appointments on 2024-08-26 to 2024-08-27, and a further date of 2024-09-30 to 2024-10-05. As more members attended the follow-ups, which drastically reduced the number of 300. But I further indicated that I will check and confirm the numbers the following day. I then confirmed the numbers and forwarded him the name list of 140 members, which he will confirm with the authorization they receive. Attendance register, as well as the refusal list. It must be noted that the list they already had, they just needed to compare with the 300 that he was indicating to me, and it's also worth noting that even though it's non-arrival, the non-arrival fee was not claimed nor paid to Medicare 24. On 2025-03, I informed him about the complaints that I received regarding the Lancet account, which was billed to members' account. And I sent him proof of the Lancet statement. Some I sent through email, and later he sent me proof of email that James Murray saw that, and they are already attending to them.
Can you please try to state this in your own, or rather these are your words, but can you, without looking at this, just explain what this paragraph means? And also how James Murray features.
Paragraph 32.
Yes, please.
What happened is, when there are medical surveillance, the members will be sent to Lancet as well as Empath to do the blood test. Now, because it's the organization that will be paying or urging members to go and attend the medical surveillance, then the account of Lancet, when it comes, it must be in the name of Medicare instead of the member's name. instead of a member being responsible for that account. So we had several issues whereby members were receiving statements from Lancet indicating that this account is on your name, and they were threatening legal action. So normally you'll have delays when communicating with people from Medicare. Hence, me and Mr. Matlala, we agreed that if there's any agent thing or if there are challenges, forward me a WhatsApp or call me. Then in this instance, I say, no, there's something wrong. Our members are receiving bills from Lancet. And he said, send me proof of that Lancet statement. And I sent it to him, whereby there was a member's name as an account holder. After that, he gave it to James, who corrected it. And it became on the account of Medicare 24.
And who did James Murray work for?
James Murray was working for Medicare 24.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Brigadier, just before you move, Chair, Commissioners, if you can turn to page 33 of the chats, which is the second tab.
Page?
33. And Brigadier, if you can confirm there that that is the Lancet invoice you were referring to, and the email from James Murray, which follows on page 34, if that is what you were referring to in your
That's correct.
exchange.
That's correct. If you look at the tax invoice without mentioning the member's name, you can see that this account is billed to the member, or the member was charged for this account.
So the member would be the person whose name appears just above the address PO box, blah, blah,
Yes,
blah. All right.
yes.
Thank
So
you.
it will be the responsibility of the member. I'm not sure if I should go to the document which was printed by the commission, which will indicate the change of the account holder.
Yes, you can.
Can you remind me which page is that? Which attachment is that?
Perhaps continue with your testimony, Brigadier, and if at a later stage you or Ms. Power find the document, you can then make the point you want to make about it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chair, it's at page 61. So that would be the last tab. It's labeled MTJ7. Brigadier, can you confirm that that is what you're referring to? And
That's what I was referring to. If you look at the Lancet report that is on page 33, on the WhatsApp conversation between myself and Mr. Matlala, the account is on the member's name. So after I have communicated with him, then now the account is moved to Medicare 24 Tshwane District.
Merely reflecting the member's name to show which member it relates to.
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Brigadier. You can continue.
Can I just clarify? I don't know its significance, but the one at page 33, Brigadier, carrying on to 34 has got a different amount from the one at page 62, which appears under the name of that member at page 33. It's different amounts. Is there an explanation? Are they the same? Are they speaking to the same thing? Because the amounts that reflect in the invoice and in this report.
They are the same, Commissioner. It's just because of him being a service provider, he had a contract, he had subcontracted Lancet. So Lancet maybe was giving him at a discounted price. Unlike when it's a member, then the member will be charged the full amount without a discount.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brigadier. You are at paragraph 33.
Thank you. On 2025-03-04, I sent him a voice note since I was going to attend the meeting, and he needed to clarify to me when he will facilitate the outstanding authorization. I needed the confirmation so that I can report about it in a meeting, since we were discussing the outstanding authorizations and the plan for the scheduled medical surveillance for 2025-2026. Later in the day, he requested my email address so that he can share outstanding medical authorizations with me. I then share the email address with him. On 2025-04-03, he forwarded me a message that he received from one of his contracted service provider that was refused to conduct medical surveillance in Limpopo because they say the contract was cancelled. I did not respond, but was surprised by the message because we haven't received any communication about the cancelled contract. But the contract was still active, and we continue with scheduling appointment for authorization received. Thank you. Meetings with JK.
Who is JK?
JK is General Patlane.
All right. Thank you.
On 2025-03-06, I received a call from JK, and we discussed general life issues. While we were on call, that he indicated that he is available to meet Mr. Matlala to touch base since they have seen each other long ago. Mr. Matlala and JK have known each other, having met during our social engagement or circle in Pretoria, since I was in a relationship with him. It was during my conversation with JK that the two have seen each other ages ago, that they should meet and greet, checking on each other within their social context. I accordingly sent Mr. Matlala a message, and he responded, "Tell him tomorrow at 1, same spot." I then forwarded the message to JK. I cannot elaborate any further on what is and remains a social relation.
Brigadier, is there a particular reason why you call General Patlane JK?
His initials are JK.
But is that what you call him or how you address him on a daily basis when you see him? I just needed to understand why in your statement he's referred to as JK. I mean, some of my closest friends call me SK, but when they make a statement, they wouldn't put SK in a statement. So I'm trying to understand what
on the statement. The reason I put JK on the statement is because in terms of the questions that I have received, I was asked to clarify the meetings between Mr. Matlala and JK. Hence, I proceeded to respond by saying JK.
Oh, so you simply followed the line of questioning. It was not your idea.
No, it was not my idea.
Okay.
Brigadier, you were at paragraph 36.
On 2025-03-25, I received a message from JK that I must tell Mr. Matlala that they must reschedule their meeting to later or the next day. Then I forwarded the message as received and asked him to respond to JK. He then responded directly to JK and sent me a screenshot. It is through our social engagement circle that Mr. Matlala met JK. The transparent social relationship has never been concealed, thus I knew and had this occasional communication. They on few occasions met during lunch or early dinner meeting at a specific restaurant convenient to them. Thus the reference, same spot. As and when they were meeting room was when he wanted to meet Mr. Matlala, JK will request that I inform or arrange because he knows that I have regular contact with Mr. Matlala or will personally see him. Telephone number of General Tema. On 2024-12-20, Mr. Matlala requested the contacts of General Tema because his phone was confiscated and he lost a lot of contact. I forwarded him the number. I do not know the reason for requesting General Tema's number. Oh, sorry. Nature of the relationship with Mr. Matlala. I met Mr. Matlala early in the year 2017 through a colleague who downloaded my photo on her WhatsApp status. The following day, she told me that my picture have attracted a lot of people and there is a guy named Kat who requested her my contact. She asked for my permission if she should give him my contact. I then asked more information about this Cat guy, and she briefly described him. I then gave her permission to give Mr. Matlala my contact number. We then started talking with Cat and ended having a romantic relationship. We had an on and off cycle relationship. Sometimes we will even get a year break from one another without talking to each other. The romantic relationship is still in existence before his arrest. Mr. Matlala is romantic and showered me with gifts, including money. The romantic relationship...
Sorry. There's this sentence just before Mr. Matlala's arrest. I did not quite get what you were saying.
No, my statement here is saying the romantic relationship is still in existence.
It's still in a?
Existence.
Distance.
Yeah.
Existence.
But existence. That was before
Apologies.
his arrest.
So,
The arrest did not end the relationship. It interrupted it. No, I just need to be clear. Sorry, it sounded like a joke. It's not. I just needed to understand that section of the statement.
It's a difficult question for me, Commissioner, because I haven't spoken to him since.
Let me put it this way. The two of you did not end the relationship. You did not say either one of you or both, the relationship has ended.
I presume it's ended. Yeah.
The answer to the question is none of you two has ended that relationship. You didn't say to him, I'm no longer in a relationship with you, and he's not said that to you either. I think that's what you're being asked. It's that direct question.
Normally when two people go their separate ways, sometimes there will be no communication. Then you'll have to assume that this relationship has ended. With him, we never have that thing of, no, I can't continue with the relationship. It happened that, no, we are not in speaking terms. I'm not talking to him, he's not talking to me for a year, and then it's the end of our relationship. Hence, when I explained it, I said we had an on and off relationship.
Yeah, but Brigadier, the question is simpler than what you're explaining. It is, he got arrested. By the time he was arrested, you were in a relationship with him. That's what you tell us.
Yes.
You were in a continuing relationship with him. What you're being asked is simply this. At no point after his arrest has he said to you, I no longer want a relationship with you, and neither have you done that. You haven't said to him, now that you are arrested, or for whatever reason, I no longer have a relationship with you. And it's that simple a question, so you can either say yes or no. We are wrong.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Brigadier, you were at the last sentence of paragraph 40.
The romantic relationship was well known to people close to my circle, and it is an open secret that we were in an on and off relationship. Conclusion. During our relationship, I knew Mr. Matlala as a businessman, having several businesses like Cat VIP Company, Medicare 24/20 District, and other company. I have never borrowed money from Mr. Matlala, and the monies and gift received from 2017 was a gift from a boyfriend. None of the gift nor monies received from him were related to me having an influence to the awarding of the tender or the execution thereof, as I started receiving them from 2017 while being in our on and off relationship. From the inception of our romantic relationship, he will pay money directly into my FNB account. But when he was requesting another bank account, I asked him why another bank account, and he stated the following. He doesn't want the wife to find out about our relationship, the gift and the monies, because she knows me only as a friend. Now that he has a contract with SAPS, he doesn't want it to look like he's paying me for favors and doesn't want the gift to jeopardize my career, as other people might think about it in the wrong way. The account used was for a friend, Mudieri Kakana, who owns a butchery, and Mudieri will also complain to me that Mr. Matlala owes her money for the meat that he will normally donate to the members of the community, the friends when they are having funerals, and also from one of his baby mamas. I do not have further details on this issue, but I know, can I make a correction there? It was a typo. I said he owed her 38. It should be he owed her 338,000. While we were in a relationship, in my own knowledge, he was never arrested nor convicted of any criminal offense which will have made me doubt or think that he's engaged in any criminal activities. I have never experienced any evil side which is being portrayed currently, and I know him as a humble, respectful, and a romantic person.
Brigadier, when you say in my knowledge, did you inquire? I mean, as far as I'm aware, Mr. Matlala has a long rap sheet. That's what they call it in, I think you understand what I mean. He's got a long record that includes convictions and various arrests, and he was charged several times and charges were dropped. So when you say in my knowledge, what do you mean? Do you mean that you checked or you did not check and therefore you were not aware?
I remember at one stage when I met him, I have checked. I request, because I do not have access to the systems in SAPS, since I am not from the operational environment. I requested 2 people to check for me. One gave me feedback to say he has a previous conviction on, I think it was possession of stolen property, if I'm not mistaken, but that previous conviction was long time ago. And the other one, it was a brigadier that I requested information from her, but she never gave me any feedback. It's only this Lieutenant Colonel that gave me feedback of his previous conviction.
So that statement cannot be correct then. You cannot say, while we were in a relationship, in my knowledge, he was never. Maybe you can say from 2017 onwards. But once you say never.
Okay, that's correct, Commissioner. I meant to say from the 2017, since our relationship, he was never arrested nor convicted of any criminal offense.
Thank you.
Also, sorry, just
And
a follow-up.
Lastly,
Carry on, you want to say something?
lastly, he has never asked me for any favors which might jeopardize my career. Thank you.
It was a follow-up on Commissioner Kumalo, and I just wanted to understand. You say that while in a relationship, he was never arrested. You were never aware that he was arrested, and you've now corrected it. But can I just check this? In the course of your relationship with him, up to the date of his arrest, you did become aware of the reports in the media where allegations were made against him?
That's correct.
That you became aware of. All right, thank you.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brigadier. Commissioners, there are a few questions arising from the statement, but in the main, I want to focus on the WhatsApp chats because the structure of the statement is largely to respond to specific chats, and it may be better to display them during the questioning in order for us to see them alongside each other.
Maybe before you go to the chat, there was one paragraph in a statement. I had a question, but I thought maybe let's wait until, I think it's the second meeting. And I needed to know why it was held at CAT VIP Services, because CAT VIP is a security company and has nothing to do with this contract. I made a note, I think it's in paragraph 20 on page 6, that you have this service provider, Medicare 24, that has just been appointed. There's an introductory meeting in July 2024. And then in August 2024, you have a meeting at CAT VIP Services. Why was that? And whose idea was it?
It was his idea to have a meeting in the CAT VIP offices, because by then the meetings were held in Boxback Clinic, Medicare Boxback Clinic. And seeing that we were around Pretoria, Then he indicated that we can come to CAT VIP offices, which was in Main Lane.
So this was an arrangement between you and Mr. Kat Matlala.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And maybe when you referring to Mr. Matlala, just use his surname so that we know who you are talking about. Thank
We'll
you.
do that. Thank you.
Yeah. Ms. Bowe, I also had questions on the statement, and I thought you were going to go back paragraph by
Similarly,
paragraph.
I will go back. I just meant for the most part, I'll focus on the chats, but there are some issues arising from the statement. But you can proceed, Commissioner Valo.
I'm going to take quite a while, so maybe we should do it your way, and when you come back to the statement, I can then ask my questions.
Commissioner Valo, excuse me, you're proposing?
No, I'm saying I had quite a few notes that I would have wanted to discuss from the statement, but I don't want to derail you, and maybe you can proceed in your way, and then when you go back to the statement, I can then deal with my questions.
All right.
I'm happy to do it that way.
Thank you. Brigadier, there's just two questions I have that don't arise from the chats that I would want you to clarify. At paragraph 12, where you deal with your roles and responsibilities, you indicated there that you had been in this new environment for 6 months, and at that time, the contract was then extended with Metropolitan for another 3 months. What role were you playing in that contract, in the management of that contract, if any?
The Metropolitan contract, maybe let me say the Metropolitan contract expired in March 2024. But because we had members that needed to conduct or subjected to medical surveillance, at that present moment, we did not have a service provider. And SAPS extended the contract of Metropolitan.
Yes, Brigadier. My question is rather that you said by March 2024, when you assumed your new responsibilities as the section head, right? At that point, it was Metropolitan that was in place providing these services.
That's correct.
That contract was then extended for an additional 3 months.
That's correct.
So my question is, were you playing a role, a contract management role in that
No.
contract?
No, I was not.
And
Why not? You were appointed section head according to page 2, 5.7. You became section head in October 2023, so Metropolitan was doing exactly the function that Mr. Matlala's company later got to do. Is that correct?
That's correct. But
Yes. So why were you not playing the same role that you later play with Mr. Matlala's company?
I understand Ms. Bo's question to say I was playing a contract management role, not the implementation of the contract. That's how I understand it.
Okay. She will clarify what she was asking you, but maybe answer my question. You are section head in October 2023. Metropolitan is the service provider. And you say, I want to know what role you were playing when Metropolitan was there and how different, if it was different, to the role that you now play with Mr. Matlala's company.
Okay. Normally, the role that I'll be playing in the contract, or maybe let me answer it like this. We have environmental compliance officers that will be coordinating the medical surveillance in the environment and facilitating the appointments. But if they experience challenges, then it will be brought to my attention as the section head so that I can intervene and interact and resolve some of the challenges which they will be having with the service provider.
You were playing that role under when Metropolitan was providing the service.
That's correct.
Of resolving challenges.
That's correct.
But the environmental compliance officers, I think you call them ECOs, you say, ECOs, were the ones
yes.
that were responsible to make arrangements.
That's correct.
Okay.
Commissioner.
Now, now it's Mr. Matlala, and I'm looking at your paragraph 4, you say, instead I will urge him to facilitate appointment. That sounds like you are now involved with making of appointments for employees and yet, or for members. And yet my understanding of your answer is that was not your role. It was the ECOs or ECOs, I think you call them.
The ECO will schedule the appointments with the service provider. Then when the service provider is not facilitating the appointments, they will send me emails or call me to complain to say, we are not getting joy from this service provider. We can't get appointments. That's when I will communicate with the service provider.
Thank you.
Brigadier, sorry. Just look at paragraph 5.7 of your statement on page 2.
7.
Are you there?
I'm there.
That's 16 October 2023. Do you see that? You are the section head. That's what it says. So after that, your CV does not say your role changed. So from 2023 October until now, your role has not changed.
No, it has not changed.
So whatever your role was in October 2023, that was still your role when Mr. Matlala's company was appointed and while it was service provider for subs.
That's correct,
Yes,
Commissioner.
which means all the things that you mentioned in paragraph 4 of your statement on page 1.
Paragraph?
4 of your statement.
Yes.
You could still do them under the metropolitan contract.
That's correct,
So
Commissioner.
you could still be involved under the metropolitan contract as you were under the Medicare 24/20 contract. That's the point.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Yes.
And Brigadier, still at paragraph 12, where you're dealing with your responsibilities, what I wanted to understand there is your role was to then manage the complaints coming out of the ECO offices, the ECOs.
That's correct. I will, whenever there are complaints, like the service provider is not facilitating the appointments. Maybe let me explain how the medical surveillance work. Our members are subjected to medical surveillance and is done on a yearly basis. So if last year you have conducted your medical surveillance in August, that means the following year in August, you must go for your medical surveillance. So whether I'm there or I'm not there, the schedule, appointment, the application, members being subjected to medical surveillance, it will continue.
Are you moving from paragraph 12? Okay. Brigadier, your paragraph 12 suggests that the very first time you became involved with this function is after the metropolitan contract had ended. You say, months March 2024 into my new responsibilities as section head, I became aware of the health risk manager contract. But you would have become aware of it in October already, after October, not in March, because this is, you say you were doing the same function. In October, when Metropolitan was the service provider, you continued to do, you did the same function when Mr. Matlala's company was appointed. So the impression that is created there, in fact, let me read more of this. It says, in March 2024, into my new responsibility, we now know you were in charge of this from October 2023, not only in March. I became aware of the health risk manager contract. Now, it seems to me by that point you should have been aware of the metropolitan one. You say the awareness was triggered by coming to an end of the previous risk manager contract, Metropolitan. I'm not sure about the accuracy of this, if already from October you were involved with the service being rendered by Metropolitan, exactly the same service. I don't understand that you would then become aware only when the contract ends, but you go on to say, there were discussions of the expired contract of Metropolitan. It was further alluded that there was an extension granted for 3 months to Metropolitan until a new service provider is appointed. The impression created up to this point is you knew nothing about, you were not involved with, and you knew nothing about the Metropolitan contract. Because the next thing you say, after you say, and it was alluded that an extension of 3 months was granted, you then say, that's when I requested more information so that I can understand the implementation of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program within the component scope, that component being CR and CSM within health risk manager scope, within that environmental compliance officer responsible for coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. The point I'm making to you is in paragraph 12, you create the impression that the first time you become aware and become involved with this service, this kind of service, is when a new contract is now being entered into. And that new contract is with Mr. Matlala. Before that, you knew nothing and you had no involvement. That's the impression you have created in this paragraph 12. And I would like you to read it. I know you wrote this, but maybe read it and tell me I am wrong in my reading of it. Because until Commissioner Khumalo asked you the question about your involvement with the Metropolitan contract, and you answered yes, I was under the impression from this paragraph that your very first involvement in this space is after Mr. Matlala is awarded the contract, not any time before. Can you just explain that and why you have said what you said in paragraph 12?
When I started in October 2023 in the environment, my supervisor was still orientating me on the nature of work that is being conducted, and also what is it that I need to be managing. My responsibilities in that environment doesn't only include the medical surveillance. There's quite a number of things that we are doing in quality management. The issues of compliance in terms of the standard, which I was also still learning the standard. Maybe I might be a slow learner. It might have taken me time to learn everything that was in the environment, because one of the things you also need to know different standards that are there, how they are applicable in the environment. Then in this, the eco-environment space, I was still in a learning process. I didn't even know that the medical surveillance in SAPS are conducted by a health risk manager. When it was discussed in the meeting in March to say that the contract of Metropolitan is coming to an end, but it will be extended, I then draw interest on it because it's part of my responsibility. Then I became involved in March with this responsibility of medical surveillance.
Yeah. Thank you.
Brigadier.
But when did you put it this way? Did the person that orientated you as to what your functions were, did that person not also tell you that this contract was part of your responsibility?
No. No, they did not, Commissioner. They will just say, we do medical surveillance. That's it.
Which meant what?
Medical surveillance, it will mean that the ECHO officers will be the one that will be coordinating the whole program of medical surveillance. She did not go into details how we go about conducting the medical surveillance in the environment.
But surely all of that would have been in the context of the contract. It would not have been in the air, as it were.
Sorry, Commissioner.
I'm saying all of that would have been in the context of or under the umbrella of the contract. It would not have been in the air, as it were.
I don't understand your question, Commissioner. Can you repeat?
This has been outsourced by SAPS to, at that stage, Metropolitan.
That's correct.
So I say everything relating to this function fell under what the contract provided for.
That's correct.
Not so?
That's correct.
So what I'm saying is what you say you were aware of must have fallen under the umbrella of what Metropolitan was required to do, not so?
That's correct, Commissioner.
So I find it difficult then for you to say that you had no idea of the existence of Metropolitan and the function that it performed.
That's correct, Commissioner, because if you are not involved or dealing with something on a daily basis, you will not get information about certain aspects of the environment. Like I have indicated, the ECHO members will be the one doing the application. Then it will go somewhere else for approval. They will get authorization. It was not coming to my office.
But you are there from October, and this is around 5 months later. For all that time, you were completely in the dark.
I was not in the dark per se, but I was not fully involved.
You were not in the dark, but you were not in the light as well.
Brigadier, someone was responsible. You tell us in this statement that your superior said you must not recuse yourself from this contract because if there are challenges, you would have to deal with them. Well, someone was dealing with the challenges from October 2023. That's your position. You are in that position. You say at 9.2, part of your responsibilities is to manage the coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring. That's a function you had from October 2023. And so challenges, if your position means you resolve challenges, you would have been the person still at that point. So it's very difficult to understand that you were completely blind or not involved with this function under the Metropolitan contract, and then with Medicare, you are so actively involved in a contract where there's an obvious conflict. So just make us understand how with Metropolitan you are not involved when it is your responsibility, you tell us, to manage coordination of medical surveillance and biological monitoring and to resolve challenges.
It's simply not enough for you to say you were in the dark, not for 5 months. Cannot be.
With Metropolitan commissioners, more especially that the contract was coming to an end. And they've been in the game for a long time. There were minimal, sometimes no challenges at all. So hence, maybe by then, it was never brought to my attention so that I can intervene. And what I was informed is that normally in the first year of the contract, the service providers will be struggling with the implementation and also understanding the environment.
Actually, it's a period of 9 months because Mr. Matlala's firm was only appointed in June. So I was just looking at March. So his firm, Medicare 24, was only appointed in June. So you want us to believe that for 9 months you were completely in the dark as to what you say were your responsibilities.
It's 6 months.
Do you seriously want us to believe that that was your position?
That was
Or is this a way of wanting us to believe why you suddenly got interested once Mr. Matlala was involved?
Commissioner, it's 6 months. It's not 9 months. But like I have indicated, with the previous service provider, we had minimal challenges which members could resolve.
Oh, it's
But-
it's October to June. How do you count your 6 months? It's October to June.
Oh, yes, yeah.
So for 9 months, you are not aware of your responsibilities and you suddenly become aware of them when Mr. Matlala comes into the picture. And you want us to believe that.
I became aware before Mr. Matlala can come into the picture, which was in March. And like I have indicated, with the previous service provider, there were minimal challenges. The challenges were never brought to my attention because the members could resolve or attend to the challenges. But when the new service provider came in place, there were a lot of challenges in terms of facilitating the appointments because there's a service level agreement which will indicate once they receive authorization, the appointment must be facilitated. I think it says within 10 working days. You will have authorizations that have not been facilitated in 2 months, in 60 days. And members, the ECHO members will be sending emails left and right requesting the service provider to facilitate the appointments. And if they do not get joy, that's when they will escalate it to my level.
Yes, Ms. Bowe.
Thank you, Chair. So, Brigadier, just so that I'm also on the same page, you, in the orientation period, you didn't play a role because that contractor in particular was effective and so no issues came to attention and therefore you didn't know about this aspect of the role that you have now assumed.
That's correct. Until March 2024, that's when I started being involved in the medical surveillance.
Okay, so this has always been part of your roles and responsibilities. It's somehow an oversight that occurred during the process of your orientation that it wasn't brought to your attention.
That's correct.
All right.
Brigadier, in paragraph 13, you say you were informed in June. You say in June, the management of quality management was informed of the appointment of Medicare 24 Tshwane District. Is this the first time that you knew Mr. Matlala's company has been appointed?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Did you not know that he submitted a bid? for
We
the service?
were not in speaking terms by then.
Well, if you were not in speaking terms, why did you disclose in paragraph 14 to Brigadier Manamela that you have a relationship with him? Because you say, I know Mr. Matlala and I explained the nature of my relationship and asked if I should recuse myself from the responsibility. Why would you do that if at that time you and Mr. Matlala are not in speaking terms? And you have explained to us that that's how your relationship went. Sometimes you were on-off, I think that's what you call it, and you would carry on for periods without talking because at that time you are off. Now, why would you tell Mr. Manamela then, or
General Manama.
General Manamela, that you have a relationship with him?
I felt a need to tell her so that she can be aware that I know Mr. Matlala, and myself and Mr. Matlala, we are in an on and off relationship. In case now it becomes on again, so that she become aware.
Right, thank you.
Brigadier, I'm going to be frank with you. Reading your statement, I think you're trying to avoid the obvious. In paragraph 17, you call yourself the end user in relation to this service. That's why you had to attend these meetings with the new company, which means you would have attended service provider meetings with Metropolitan as well. What you are really avoiding is the fact that as end user, you were aware that a contract is coming to an end, and you were aware that in January of 2024, a new RFQ was going out, and as the end user, you would have participated in the creation of that RFQ. And even though you were not a member of either the BEC or the BAC or the ultimate decision maker, throughout the process, you would have been made aware as end user. Because I find it hard to believe that an end user will be in the dark for a period of 8 months. Chair said 9 months, which is correct if you include the October month. I find it hard to believe that an end user won't know that a contract is coming to an end, that there's a new RFQ, because you must know what's in the specifications. And you must know who are the shortlisted people and whether or not they qualify. That's the part you are avoiding. That's why you are telling this commission that your involvement only starts after Mr. Matlala is appointed or after his company is appointed. Because you are avoiding the obvious fact that as an end user, you would have been aware and involved throughout. You want to comment?
Yes, I do not agree, Commissioner, that I became aware of the specification. I didn't know about the specification. I was not even aware of the people that bidded for the contract, because it's not within my responsibility. It is the responsibility of supply chain management, who is keeping this process very close without sharing. So from my side, coming from a different environment that was not working with the medical surveillance, I could not have known the specification, who bidded for the contract, what is the contract doing, how should it be implemented. And like I have indicated, there are a lot of responsibilities in that environment, in the environment that I'm appointed at. As part of my orientation or onboarding process, they will take me through them step by step. If maybe I come into contact with something new, I will then ask my supervisor, or I will call members in my environment to come and give me a presentation so that I can understand what is happening in my environment. And maybe also one of the things that made me not to be aware of the medical surveillance is because all the administration regarding medical surveillance, it doesn't come to my level. It stays at the level of the ECOs. And part of it, we also have provinces that are also managing the medical surveillance in the province. So they do it on their own unless there are serious challenges which they cannot resolve from their side, then it will be brought to my attention. And with the previous service provider, there were minimal challenges. If they schedule appointment, the appointment will be given, the OC Health will also come and conduct the medical surveillance. And with this new service provider, there will be challenges in terms of implementing the authorizations, whereby members will stay for months without undergoing medical surveillance. And in our environment, medical surveillance are very critical. You'll have environments whereby members will totally refuse to work, to say, I cannot expose myself to chemicals or to whatever hazards that are there because I have not conducted my medical surveillance.
Thank you, Brigadier. I think what this commission will do is we will subpoena some of the records of the meetings with Metropolitan and also some of the records leading to the RFQ, and we will establish whether or not you were involved. Thank you.
Brigadier, when the paragraph 14 where you speak about your disclosure to your supervisor, can I just understand, when you spoke to General Manamela, what in fact did you say about what you say the nature of your relationship with Mr. Matlala? What did you tell the general?
I told the general that, thank you, Commissioner. I told the general that I do have an on and off romantic relationship with Mr. Matlala, but I haven't spoken to him for quite a while. That's what I explained. And I also requested, can I be excused from doing the medical surveillance? And she indicated that no, it's part of your responsibility and it's also on your job description. Although,
why did you consider that you should be excused or recused from having to deal with this? What was behind that?
the reason I wanted to be excused is that sometimes it's not easy to work with your ex-boyfriend. Although you try by all means to maintain a professional relationship, but sometimes it's not easy.
Okay. I think you've clarified exactly what I wanted to establish when I asked you, what did you tell General Manamela about the nature of your relationship? So you said to General Manamela, he's your ex-boyfriend or ex-partner. That's how you explained him.
No, Commissioner.
Let me tell you what I'm trying to establish. I'm trying to establish whether General Manamela understood that you are in an ongoing relationship with Mr. Matlala at the time when she says to you, it's okay, you can manage a contract that where the service provider is your boyfriend. I'm trying to understand that. What exactly did you tell her? Because there is a difference between he is my ex-boyfriend. It's a clear statement. It's a past relationship. And the other one is to say, well, he and I are on an on-off relationship, but we are in a relationship. I've just not been talking to him for the last 6 months. It's an important distinction for purposes of this paragraph, for us to understand. Did General Manamela understand Mr. Matlala is your partner, is your intimate partner as you describe him? That's your language. You say, I have an intimate relationship with him. Did General Manamela understand when you spoke and disclosed your relationship that in fact you have an intimate relationship with him, you have an ongoing relationship, you've just not been talking to each other? General Manamela understood that. Is that what you're saying?
Commissioner, I think she did understand, because I remember even her making a joke to say, issues sabojolo hadiseni, this is a workplace.
Yes, so General Manamela had no difficulty and And she may not appear before us. So it's important that we get your answer clearly. General Manamela had no difficulty with you being involved in a contract, in managing a contract where your boyfriend is the service provider.
That's
Is
correct.
that what you're saying?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Papa.
And Brigadier, was any of this recorded formally, or was this just verbal at that one meeting?
No, it
The
was
disclosure?
No, it was not recorded anyway. It was just our verbal discussion.
Yes, which raises another question for me. I would imagine, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because you know that environment better than I do, that the SAPS would have a policy on disclosures of conflicts of interest or potential conflicts of interest, and that policy would prescribe how that is to be done, where the disclosure should be made and to whom it should be made. Is there such a policy in the SAPS?
I'm not aware of such a policy whereby you have to disclose your relationship. I'm not aware of it.
No, I'm not saying disclose your relationship. Disclose any conflicts of interest, potential conflict of interest or actual conflicts of interest. I am imagining there's such a policy in government, including the SAPS. Are you saying you're not aware of a policy that requires you to disclose conflicts or potential conflicts of interest?
I'm not aware of a policy.
All right, thank you.
Sorry.
Check.
Do you know if Mr. Matlala's company disclosed the conflict when they responded to the RFQ, when they submitted the bid? Do you know if they disclosed that actually the end user is my on-off partner?
I don't know if Mr. Matlala have disclosed, Commissioner, because by then, as I have indicated, we were not in a relationship. So I'm not aware on the document if he has indicated it. And I don't think he will even know that I was the end user, because this contract has quite a number of end users. It's not only me who was the end user. You'll get someone that is doing a recruitment into SAPS. That person will be an end user. You'll get people that are doing incapacity leave in the organization. You will have someone that is leading that stream. You will get a stream whereby...
Brigadier, I think you've answered me and I'm not cutting you short. I'm worried about the time because it's almost our tea time. So just one last question and a short answer, please, because it should be obvious. In June, when Mr. Matlala's company gets appointed, the relationship is flat, nothing is happening. When did the two of you start the relationship again? When did you suddenly agree that, okay, now things are back to us being in a relationship?
I don't remember.
These things are important, Brigadier, so think carefully.
Yeah. No,
These things are important.
I don't remember when did we start again with our relationship after he was awarded the contract. I don't remember.
I want to remind you, Commissioner Mkwanazi's words in this commission were to the effect that at the end of it, we must make findings and recommendations. And it would be unfair to make findings and recommendations on things that you are able to answer, but you choose not to. 2024 is not a long time ago. And if somebody is your partner or your lover, surely you must know when did things start again? Because you were very clear that in June, nothing was happening. So surely you must know when did things start moving again. Please think about it and try to answer it, Chair, after tea, because it's very important.
But may I just put in this question, but would it have been before December 2024? When you resumed your relationship?
Sorry, Commissioner?
Would it have been before December 2024 when you resumed your relationship? In June you say you are still not, but by December would you have resumed it already?
Yes, that's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. I'm not necessarily blocking Commissioner Kumalo's question because he wants specificity. You say June not. So Commissioner Kumalo wants when did you resume? So that's what you should mull over during the tea break. Let's adjourn and resume at 11:20. We saw the live interview. We are still not late. Ms. Poe.
Thank you, Chair. Brigadier, just before the break, Commissioner Kumalo had asked a question regarding whether you remember when your relationship with Mr. Matlala became on again. Did you recall, or you still don't remember?
Thank you very much, Commissioners. I think it was in late 2024, maybe around September, October, but it was late in 2024.
And in late 2024, when the relationship now was actively ongoing, did you perhaps think it was important to go back to speak to General Manamela, given that the first description you gave her was we have an on and off relationship? Now you definitely know that you are in a relationship with a contracted service provider. Did you go back to talk to her about this?
Yes, I did.
And
Fortunately, General Manamela is someone that you can talk to most of the things. Yes, I did.
Sorry, Brigadier, you went back to talk to her in, let's say, late 2024 and definitively confirmed you have a relationship. What was her response to that?
Nothing. I think it was still the same response. I can't remember. But I think it was the same response to say I must just continue and being professional at work.
And again, this was not recorded in any form or fashion?
No, it was not recorded, Commissioners.
Brigadier, let me just go back to a question that Ms. Bowe asked you, and I think you said, when she asked you about your involvement in what she described as contract management of this Medicare contract, and you denied that you are involved with contract management.
Yes.
Am I correct?
That's correct.
What do you understand to be contract management in the context of this Medicare contract? What would constitute contract management?
My understanding of contract management, in SAPS you'll have one person that will be a contract manager of that specific contract. If we are having challenges that we cannot resolve with the service provider, then we'll have to escalate them to the level of a contract manager.
Okay. So where you say in paragraph 4, you would urge him to facilitate appointments It's because, you said it's because members were complaining.
Yes.
The CFO, the CEO or something you call them, environmental officers were complaining. So you step in
Yes.
and urge him to make appointments for members. That's what you say in your
That's
paragraph
correct,
4.
Commissioner.
And then you also say, you also urge him to pay his contracted service provider. That's his business. Why do you come into it? Why are you involved in an issue about Mr. Matlala's company paying his service providers?
Sometimes members of or members that are managing the contract or that are giving out authorization, because they knew the nature of my relationship with Mr. Matlala, they will call me and say, you know, we are struggling to get an appointment for divers with Dr. So-and-so, because Mr. Matlala have not yet paid them. Can't you talk to him and ask him to pay the service provider? Yes, indeed, I will, and urge him to pay the service provider.
And so from your description, what you've just explained now, this was not part of your functions to urge him to pay his service providers. You were doing it because people know you have a relationship with him, so as his girlfriend, you're talking to him to pay his service providers. It's not your responsibility.
That's correct, Commissioner.
That is correct. So at this point, you now have a relationship. You are back on with him when you now talk to him about paying his service contract, his service providers.
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. And then you say, and correcting him where numbers were not corresponding, which effectively qualified him to invoice lesser. This to me sounds like a purely finance function, not your monitoring surveillance and making sure that there is surveillance of your members. The discussion about invoices being corrected, I don't see how from how you have described your responsibilities, where it comes in that you're responsible to now look at invoices for correction, even if it means him being paid lesser. I don't see how that flows from your responsibilities. Yes, you may comment.
I was not correcting him for invoices. When medical surveillance have been attended by the members, there will be an attendance register which will be kept by the service provider as well as our ECO members. They will keep the attendance register. Sometimes the attendance register is not corresponding. His attendance register and our attendance register will not be corresponding.
Yes, what I'm saying is I don't see why that is part of your functions, that kind of engagement with Mr. Matlala, that you are the one that has to solve non-corresponding registers. Your ECO officers are responsible for this. They are the ones that know what appointments are being made. Just make me understand why and how that fits into your responsibilities relating to this contract.
If there are any fruitless expenditures regarding the medical surveillance, I'm the one that must account to the fruitless expenditure. And as much as possible, from my side, I was trying to avoid the fruitless expenditure. Reason being, when we started with medical surveillance in my environment, I received an email from She Management, Colonel Mogadi, who indicated that the environment that I am managing has a huge amount of fruitless expenditure due to non-attendance of members.
Okay, can I just stop you there? The point I'm trying to make is, can you see from the three things that you have listed that in fact this is contract management? You are managing now the day-to-day performance of this contract, because to urge him to facilitate appointments is to say to him, you are not performing, our members are not getting their appointments. Why that gets escalated to you, I think it's a different debate, but you say to him, comply with the contract. That's a management of a contract, at least that's what I'm suggesting to you. To pay his contracted service providers, I think this has absolutely nothing to do with you as an SAPS person who is the end user of the contract. This you were doing as his girlfriend because others have come and spoken to you. It had nothing to do with your responsibilities. And then correcting him where numbers were not corresponding, which effectively qualified him to invoice lesser. This is contract management. So when you say to Ms. Bowe, I wasn't responsible for contract management, officially, yes, maybe you were not, but you took on this function on this contract of managing the contract in the name of solving challenges, when in fact it is typical contract management. That's what I'm suggesting to you. You may comment if you want to.
From my side, Commissioner, I don't see it as contract management. I see it as stepping in whenever there are challenges. And in SAP's language, we understand contract management to be something else different. Hence, I indicated that I was not managing the contract.
Thank you. Thank you, Brigadier.
Brigadier, just to follow up on two aspects in relation to the answers you gave to Commissioner Baloyi. You mentioned that managers, so the actual contract managers, would then approach you to do ostensibly what they were supposed to do when they had issues with the contract. Do you accept that?
Yes.
So if you
not
were...
managers, but there's someone that is issuing authorization and doing payment as well. So whenever there are challenges of non-payment, and it's very urgent that the divers must attend their medical surveillance, she will call me and say, hey, we can't make appointments because Dr. So-and-so has not been paid. Can't you talk to him, at least prioritize this doctor so that our divers can conduct the medical surveillance?
Yes, I understand, Brigadier. I guess the question is, if that sounds like a management issue, why was that then not directed to managers, if you are now saying that those people were indeed not managers?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you look at paragraph 14, right, where you talk about your disclosure to General Manamela, you say, I further asked if I could recuse myself from the responsibility of managing the medical surveillance and biological monitoring program. And so that sort of management didn't include actual contract management or the provision, at least, of those services that affected your environment.
That's correct.
All right. Thank you, Brigadier. And then if you look at paragraph 15, just to clarify, at the end of that sentence or that paragraph, you say, perhaps let me just read the whole paragraph. It must be noted that I was not part of the bid specification committee, bid evaluation committee, nor bid adjudication committee, and I was not aware of the service providers that submitted bids for the tender or any engagements with any previous health risk managers that were contracted by the SAPS. What do you mean by that? Are you solely limiting it for purposes of the procurement process?
I'm solely limiting it in the process of the specification of the contract, the evaluation, or the adjudication of the tender.
And I think this was a question that was posed by Commissioner Kumalo. As an end user, there wasn't a part that you were playing in the bid specifications behind the scenes, as end users would contribute to bid specifications, as they are the receivers ultimately of the service. So
No,
there was no
nothing.
participation there.
Nothing. The part of the specification, it even started before I can arrive in that environment.
All right. Thank you, Brigadier.
Brigadier, in that paragraph 15, where you can read it together with 14, but I'm raising this in the context of what you say in 15. Is there any reason you don't say in your statement, at the time of the submission of the bid of Mr. Matlala, and at the time that the bid was awarded to him, or the tender was awarded to him, he and I were not in a relationship? Is there any reason you're not saying it that clearly?
Maybe it's the matter of English. For me, I see that I have already covered it. So maybe it's the matter of English and putting it the way you are saying, Commissioner.
No, it's not a matter of English and putting it the way I'm saying it. Nowhere in your statement do you say that. You tell us earlier on about your on and off relationship without saying that as at June 2024, we were not in a relationship. No, your statement doesn't say that. And my question is there, you clearly do see it's important. That's why you're telling us what you tell us in paragraph 14, and that's why you tell us what you're telling us in paragraph 15. It's because you know it is important to convey something that in fact, the fact of your relationship with him, whether on and off, you do know it's important for purposes of why you are here before us and for purposes of this contract. What is curious is, much as you know it is, you've decided it is important, nowhere in your statement do you say when he submitted the tender, which you don't know when, you've told us, and when it was awarded to him, he and I were not in a relationship at that time. You don't say that, and my question is there a reason you don't say it that clearly in your statement?
No, there's no reason, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioners, I'm going to move to the chat for purposes of questioning the witness alongside some of the statements that arise. So I think it may be easier to just remove the statement and put it alongside the chat. And for just purposes of orientation, because the chats are slightly different from those that we were looking at with witness F, under tab 2, you will see that the chat box that is green would represent chats from Mr. Matlala, and that which is white or gray, depending on the level of your eyesight, will be those of Brigadier Matjeng.
Ms. Bowe, perhaps for the record, you should say the source of these chats, from whose phone. If you were already going to do that, I do apologize for anticipating.
Thank you, Commissioner Baloyi. The chats originate from the phone of Mr. Matlala and were extracted, both the WhatsApps and the metadata. So we were able to get copies of the chats as well as annexes to the chats that includes multimedia like videos or audio. Brigadier, you've had consideration and sight of the chats.
Yes.
And you are satisfied that these are the chats that you had with Mr. Matlala?
That's correct, I am.
Right. Thank you. Commissioners, I'd like to begin at page 2. Brigadier, you'll see there on the 15th of December 2024, you send a number to Mr. Matlala. Whose number is that?
Sorry, maybe
Or do you know?
Ms. Power, for completeness, maybe also give the timestamp because there's quite a number of messages on the same day.
Yes, Commissioner, Barrow, that is at 12:37.
This one, I tried to recall whose number is this because I don't have it on my contact. Probably, maybe it was forwarded by someone while Mr. Matlala was looking for it. I don't know whose number is this.
And if you turn the page over, you'll see you then text Mr. Matlala at 15:04 on the same day. You say, "Did you find him? Apparently he changed his number." Does that help you recall?
I know he was looking for, after his phone was confiscated, he was looking for a number of quite a lot of people. I'm trying to recall, and I even dial it on Truecaller just to check whose number it is.
So we've done a check of the number. It's Captain Cartwright. Do you have any sense of why you would be
Sorry,
providing?
Ms. Power, you said it's what?
Captain Cartwright, Cartwright.
Thank you.
Do you have a sense of why you would be sharing Captain Cartwright's?
Or first, perhaps, do you know who that captain is?
I know him by surname. I've never met him personally. I just know the name Captain Cartwright.
And then please respond to Ms. Power's question.
Do you recall why you would be sending his number to Mr. Matlala?
No, I don't remember. He was looking for a number, and I got him the number.
Thank you, Brigadier.
When you asked for the number, he would have told you why. He's asking for a number of an SAPS person, a colleague of yours. So he would have told you why.
It's not always that when someone is looking for a number of a specific person, they will tell you why they are looking for that person. So in this instance, I don't know why he was looking for the captain. What I know is that on the 6th of December, when they took his phone, he lost a lot of contacts.
Yes, no. I understand that, and my question has nothing to do with that. My question is, when Mr. Matlala asks you for a number of your colleague, which you don't have on your phone, and so you don't just pass it on, you would have asked why, or he would have explained, I want the number, this number. You would have had to look it up on your subsystem. So you would know a bit about him because you have to look it up. You are sharing police information or an employee's information, actually. You are sharing an employee's number with an outsider. I expect he would have said to you, I want this number for this reason. 2, when you look it up on your system, you would know who it is. They are employed in this section. I would imagine that information would have been there available to you. So you would know more than just by name from looking him up. You would know this is where he's employed.
No, I don't have access to check where members are employed. But if it's Captain Cartwright, I know he's working at supply chain management. And he's one of the people that he signed. When he was going to sign the contract, he signed it with Captain Cartwright.
Okay.
What he was looking for or what he wanted to discuss with Captain Cartwright, I really don't know, Commissioner.
Okay, but you now know, you knew just at looking him up, if you didn't know before, that this is someone in supply chain management. You came to know that.
No, after Ms. Bowe mentioned Captain Cartwright, then I remembered to say Captain Cartwright is the one that was working in, or he's still there in supply chain. I'm not sure if he's still there.
Okay. Now, you also say you tried, Ms. Bowe seems to have had better luck than you, even though she's not in the SAPS, to locate who this number belongs to. When you say you tried, you even used Truecaller. Are you saying you could not establish whose number this is?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Even when you called it?
No,
you
I
say
did
you
not
called
call
it.
it.
Oh,
What I do, I just check on Truecaller if it will show the name of the person. As I was writing my affidavit, some of the numbers, I will check them on my Truecaller and it will give me the name of that specific person.
all right. I don't know how Truecaller works, but thank you. Thank you, Brigadier.
I can confirm, Commissioner Baloyi, that when I used my Truecaller this morning, that's how I discovered the name and then double-checked it with our IT.
Okay. Brigadier just was not able to do the same. All right. Thank you.
And then you'll see, then let's go to the next chat on still the 15th of December at 17:04. You text Mr. Matlala, you don't have money, ungithumele. And his response is, I don't have bank account. And you respond with Yane. I just wanted to understand in relation to this was just ordinary boyfriend-girlfriend talk.
That's correct.
And he also then indicates that he would be opening another account. Now, if you look at the next message on the 18th of December at 13:27, we won't get into it. You just send Mr. Matlala a correspondence that you received, and you asked him for assistance.
That's correct.
And again here, just to confirm, this was regular boyfriend-girlfriend request
Yes,
and
because
interaction.
yes, Commissioners, because previously I told him about this account that I was owing and could not settle the account. I told him in September 2023 because I had an incident in September 2023. It's a very traumatic incident which I do not want to divulge what happened there. But at the end of the day, my car was burned down. So, yeah. And because of this account, I have challenges in getting finance to buy a new car.
All right, Brigadier, you don't have to go into the specifics.
Ms. Bowe, at this very early stage, I want to test this idea of the Brigadier having been involved in a romantic relationship with Mr. Matlala. Brigadier, as romantically involved people, did you and Mr. Matlala have any terms of endearment like love, babe, hun, etc.?
Yes, Commissioner, I am not a romantic person. I'm not into calling people honey, love, or whatever, but I'll give you a pet name. So for him, I was calling him Mr. V, and from his side, he was calling me Diva. That's how we call each other.
I must say I've gone through all the chats. Well, people differ, but I find it very, very strange that you don't have or you don't use, not at all, any of the usual terms of endearment that some people, if not most people, use. I find it very strange. Do you wish to comment on that? I've gone through all, from page 3 all the way to the last one at page 49. Not once do you use any term of endearment, except as you say, you saying Mr.
V.
V, and he's saying Diva. Even those, even that Mr. V and that Diva, those are very few. Do you accept that there are very few?
I do accept.
If you go beyond 5, that would be quite a lot, actually. I doubt that you even reach 5. The same with him. Starting from December to, what's the date of the last one? It's the 25th of, oh, no, it's the 13th of May, 2025. Very few, even of those, the Mr. V and the Diva, very few. Do you wish to comment on that?
Yes, Commissioner. I do accept that in writing there will be very few of that. But when you look at our chairs, most of the time we will be talking through phone.
I've seen that.
Most of the time.
I've seen that there are lots of phone calls. But I will still say it's very strange that you would use these terms of endearment, the Mr. V and the Diva, if you are suggesting that you were using them during the calls. I would still find it strange that you would use them in the calls but not use them in texts. It's still the two people interacting, so it doesn't make sense to me that you would change, you would switch, or not relate in the same manner you do in phone calls.
Sometimes when someone is having a girlfriend, you avoid using those terms a lot because if maybe the girlfriend can get hold of the phone, they will be able to read and see the discussions between two people. So in most of the time on our chat, we try to keep it professional.
But that can't be the answer if you say you ask for money from him because you were in a relationship. If saying love, hand, babe, or whatever, if you saw that as problematic for purposes of the wife, asking for money should equally have been problematic for the wife, if not worse. So your answer, again, doesn't make sense to me. It would actually be worse to ask for money, especially huge sums of money like we have here. Your comment?
I am not a romantic person.
That's not what I'm asking you. I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you now about the point you make about it being problematic if the wife were to see terms of endearment. So now I'm saying, if you say that would have been problematic, in my view, it would actually have been worse for the wife to see texts in which you were asking for money. And not money for airtime or anything like that, but huge sums of money, hundreds of thousands of rand. Would that not have been worse than mere terms of endearment?
It will be, Commissioner.
So my question stands then. Or perhaps let me ask a different question or make a different comment and ask you to respond to that. To me, a huge doubt is cast upon this idea that you and Mr. Matlala had a romantic relationship. The very fact that you did not use any terms of endearment suggests to me that you were not romantically involved. What do you say?
I don't agree, Commissioner. People can go out and investigate around my circle, and my circle is very big. They will be able to confirm this relationship.
Why then are you not able to explain how you interacted, or why it is that you interacted in a manner that didn't show that you were romantically involved? Because the reason you gave does not make sense. And you basically admit that when you say it would be worse if the spouse were to see that you were asking for huge sums of money. So why is it, try to give a better response, why is it that you did not interact in a manner that showed that you were romantically involved?
Thank you, Commissioner. I still stick to the point that I am not a romantic person. In all my relationship, I don't use, I rather call someone Ntate Matlala. For me, it's romantic to be calling Ntate Matlala. Then maybe from his side, will be saying Mama Matlala. For me, it's romantic. And to cut most of the things short, we'll just say Mr. V, and then he'll go diva.
Let me just take you through a few. The first one that Ms. Poe has already referred you to says, oh yeah, the first one is you give him a cell number, and it's just that cell number, no text at all. And then the second one, also referred to by Ms. Poe, says, did you find him? Apparently he changed numbers. And then the next one, the date is 15 December 2024, timestamp 1704. You say you don't have money on Tumelle. Then the first one by him, I don't even have a bank account, and that's on the same date, same time basically. And your next one, Yane, same date, 1710. And his second text, I'm opening another account on Tuesday while they're busy investigating irregularities of funds in that one. Same date, 1713. I'll skip a letter from attorneys, that's at pages 3, 4, 5. And I go to the top of page 6. That's your next one. Where's the timestamp? It's cut there at the top. Let me see. Yes, it's at the bottom of page 5. It's on the 18th of December 2024 at 13:28. You say, I'm in trouble now. These guys are on my case. Remember, I told you September. And then I'll skip a few and go to page 14.
14.
14, yes. And there you say, and it's the 23rd of January 2025, 12:03. And there you simply say, confirmed. The point I want to make about all these is that they sound businesslike. All of those that I've read sound businesslike. And in fact, I've gone through all the texts. All of them are like that, businesslike. I find it very strange that this is how people who are romantically involved would write to each other. Do you wish to comment?
Yes, Commissioner, as I have previously, my previous comment, to say that we will have our regular phone calls whereby we will talk our affairs, and on WhatsApp, like I said, I'm not a romantic person, so it will...
Would you be romantic during those phone calls? In terms of using terms of endearment, for example?
Sometimes, depending on...
But only using Mr. V, nothing else?
Yes, I only use Mr. V.
So that's what you mean by being romantic during the phone calls?
That's correct. But I'm also inviting the commission to investigate.
But please, just let's not get distracted. Please answer my question. My question was, do you agree that it is very strange that people who are romantically involved would talk in this business-like manner? Do you accept that or not?
I do not accept, Commissioner, because it will differ from one person to another.
Thank you, Ms. Bowen.
Brigadier, at that page 3 of these WhatsApp exchanges that the chair has gone through about requests for money, you then get to, you forward Mr. Matlala at page 3 at the bottom, a letter to you, right?
That's correct, Commissioner.
And you do that on the 18th of December 2024. And then at page 6, you then say, I'm in trouble now, these guys are on my case. Remember I told you, September. So that these guys are on my case, you are referring to what is contained in that letter. It relates to that letter.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And I told you, September, it has to be September 2024.
2023.
Why 2023? Why do you say 2023?
I had an incident in September 2023 whereby my car was burned down. Yeah.
So these guys are after me. You're not referring to the people, to these attorneys who have sent you a letter?
I'm referring to the attorneys who has sent me this judgment. It was a judgment.
Yes.
I'm referring to it because this judgment I'm struggling to obtain vehicle finance because of this judgment.
Yes.
Unless I pay them, then I will be able to apply for vehicle finance.
Yes.
As I'm saying, I'm in trouble. Now these guys are on my case. Remember, I told you, September.
Yes. If these guys are the attorneys, then the guys who are after you, I told you, September, that these guys are after me, you must have been referring to this letter, these attorneys, not your incident.
Yes, I agree with you, Commissioner. When I'm saying I'm in trouble, these guys are after me.
Yes.
I mean this letter.
Yes.
But when I say I told you, September,
yes.
I told him, September, that I'm struggling to buy a car because of this account. By then, there was no judgment on my name. Now, they went on to get a judgment for this account.
Yes, they get a judgment in October.
Yes.
In October.
Yes, Commissioner.
And it's, I'm saying to you, according to this text, and my reading of it is, you would have told him in September about this judgment. That makes sense. It doesn't make sense that you would send a text which has an attorney's letter that has a judgment taken in August 2024, and then you say, I told you September, and that's all you say. and you are referring to September 2023 when you are attaching an attorney's letter that is in August. Let me just express it again. This is a judgment is taken in August 2024,
Yes.
right? So we know that you get this letter after the judgment is taken, because the
correct.
letter refers to a judgment. It's in August 2024. Then you send a text, you send that same letter, and you send a letter that says, I told you ka September, and I'm suggesting to you that the September you are referring to is in 2024. You told him about this judgment in September 2024, not 2023.
I do not agree, Commissioner. Reason being, once you get a judgment, or once there's a judgment on your name, you are not being informed immediately that there's a judgment on your name. The first time that they sent me a message to say there's a judgment on your name, it was on this date.
Yes. The point, actually, the more important point I seek to make, Brigadier, is you're asking him for money in December, and you're showing him that you need to pay. That's why you're sending him this letter.
That's correct.
I've got this letter, there's a judgment against me, and I need to make payment. And that follows on that sequence of requests for payment from you to him, right? Is that, you agree
That's
with that?
correct, Commissioner.
Okay. Now, and the point I wanted to make about it is, well, if you told him in September 2024, then we know that your relationship had started in 2024 September, and I think that's why you're saying 2023. You're avoiding, conceding that, in fact, having told General Manamela in June about your relationship, which you say was off at that time, because that's what you tell us. You say your relationship was off in June 2024. In fact, in September 2024, your relationship is back on, and that is consistent with an earlier answer to Commissioner Khumalo, that your relationship started towards the late 2024. So in September 2024, you are now back in a relationship with Mr. Matlala. You're talking to him, and that's when you tell him that these guys are after you. You accept that?
Commissioner, it might be that in September 2024, our relationship was already on, or it started in September 2024.
Okay.
But when I say I told you ka September, I'm referring to September 2023, after my car was burned down and I could not get a car.
Okay. I just wanted to establish that we are on the same page, that by September your relationship was you say it's possible, but I wanted to put it higher than that by September 2024 your relationship was back on track. And the important point I want to make about it is that from the time you told General Manamela about your relationship, and you say to us it was off at the time. That's why you didn't know he had been awarded. In fact, not too much time passed between the June award of the tender, on your version, the June award of the tender, and when you are back on. We know that latest in September you are back in a relationship with
That's
Mr.
correct,
Matlala. That's the point I'm making. So
That's
it's
correct.
barely 3 months in there somewhere.
It might be that we were back together, or
Yes.
we were in a process
Okay.
of fixing our relationship.
All right. Thank you, Brigadier. Thanks, Ms. Bove. Before we move on, I think you were answering a question of the chair, and you spoke about your relationship was known to people close to your circle. You
That's
remember you
correct,
also say that in the statement. What does it mean? I mean, I don't know what it means. Who are the people close to your circle? Are you talking your family? Are you talking your friends? Are you talking your colleagues?
It's
What does that
family,
mean?
it's family, it's friends. Some of my colleagues will know.
Did that include General Patlane as people who knew about
That's
your
correct.
relationship? He knew about your relationship.
That's correct, Commissioner.
All right, thank you.
Brigadier, then if we can go to, again, still on page 6, there's an exchange of calls that we won't go through, but on the 20th of December 2024 at 18:33, you send him a contact card giving him the details of one General Tim. Is that correct? That is the contact details of General Tim.
Ms. Bowe, we really have to strain our ears. Can you please try to?
Oh, my apologies.
Yes.
Maybe bring the mic closer to you.
Yes, the contact details of General Tema.
That's correct. He called me and requested that I forward him the contact details of General Tema. And because by then he lost a lot of contact, and I know that he knew General Tema, and he previously had the contact of General Tema, I then forwarded him her contacts.
And Brigadier, I mean, you say that you knew that he knew General Tema. Maybe to start here, what environment is General Tema?
General Tema has resigned, but previously, when she was in the organization, she was the head of basic police training.
Basic?
Basic police training.
Police training.
Yes.
All right, and you knew that he had her number,
Yes,
and this is why you provided it.
that's correct, Commissioners.
And just to say that you said in your earlier testimony that the reason why you provide contact details of SAPS members is because he lost his cell phone, and he couldn't access their numbers on ongoing correspondence because he's a contractor, and I imagine frequently would be talking to these individuals.
I think after losing, or after the phone was confiscated, he changed the numbers and used a different number. So the number that we are communicating from December, it was his new number.
I suppose my question is simply, couldn't he have gotten it through his emails? Most SAPS employees in their email signatures, they put both the official and cell number. Is there a reason why he frequently asked you for these numbers?
General Tema was not in the organization by then, and he will see me spending much time with General Tema through the WhatsApp status, photos, and she liked posting on Facebook as well as on Facebook.
So in this context, he was asking for the number because she's your friend?
That's correct.
All right.
Not really a friend. She's
Acquaintance.
yeah, she's older than me, but yeah, we do see each other as time permits.
An acquaintance.
Yeah, proper English acquaintance.
And then let's move to, oh, my apologies. Did you ask at that point why he required the number of General Tema?
No, I did not, because I know that previously they were in contact, and because he lost most of his contacts, I just forwarded him the number.
Thank you, Brigadier. And then if we could turn to, there's a series of calls that then follows since then, so we're not going to go through those calls. But if you turn to page 9, and Commissioners, just to make sure that you have regard to a statement in particular, paragraph 45. Brigadier, you'll see there on the 10th of January 2025 at 10:46. Perhaps maybe the best place to start is that there's a call that you make to Mr. Matlala at 9:31 on that day. Thereafter, Mr. Matlala responds at 10:46 with morning. Please send me account number, not yours please. Sorry, was busy with Paulfin. They only paid 30% of the invoice. You see that?
That's correct, I see it.
And then you respond at 11:25 by saying good morning, morning Mr. V, and you provide then a account number of Osizweni Meat Hyper.
That's correct.
Let me just... And then you, at 16:03, I just want to cover the text for this day. You respond and say, did you do it? I need to pay and send proof of payment today.
That's correct.
And then this is followed by 2 calls on this day, right? So that's just the 10th. I'll stop there for now. Now, you start there, Mr. Matlala at that point at 10:46 requests for you to send an account number that is not yours. And this was to send you money. This was to send you money.
Yes, that's correct.
And this is confirmed by what you say at paragraph 45 of your statement.
That's correct, Commissioners.
And please explain why did he want you to use an account number that was not yours?
Yes, I did ask him why he wants an account number that is not mine, because I knew that Mr. Matlala have my bank account details. Then he said to me, no, you see, I don't want the wife to find out that I'm giving you money, gifts, and whatever. And furthermore, he says, now that he has a contract in SAPS, it will end up looking like gratification.
Okay, and when he then says this to you, what is your response?
I understood the reasons that he provided me.
And did you think these reasons were sound to engage in this sort of transaction?
Yes.
That it would be okay? Did you think it would be okay?
As my boyfriend, I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Brigadier, when did you ask him for the reasons before you gave him the bank account details of Esizweni?
No, I gave him, but we previously spoke about it. And I could understand the reasons why he wanted a different account number than mine.
When you say previously, what do you mean? We have a WhatsApp message where for the first time, he's asking you to give him an account number. which is not yours, please. That's what he does at 10:46. And then at 11:25, you send him this details of this bank account that he's asking for. Now, clearly, if you had had a call in between, it would show here on this trail, because that's the order of these WhatsApp message of what we have in front of us. Now we know from this that there was no telephone call between you and him after he requested and when you gave him this. Hence my question: when would you have had that discussion before he asked you to give him a bank account other than yours?
That will be before he asked for the account number during our calls or during our visits, whereby he was showing me or he was saying to me, I will no longer transfer money into your direct bank account because of the following reasons.
So if you had that discussion, why would he say to you at 10:46, not yours, please? Because you've already discussed it. You've already agreed. He's told you in advance. You have understood the reason. Why would he at 10:46 say to you, not yours, please, if you knew and understood that you are not to give him your account number?
I don't know, Commissioner. Maybe it's a reminder. He's reminding me not to give him my account number.
No, let me suggest to you that it's not true that you had discussed it before he sent you this message. It's not true. You hadn't discussed it at all. If you had discussed it, he wouldn't tell you. He wouldn't need to tell you, don't send me yours. And the reason he's doing that, it is because you don't know not to send him yours. So what you're saying there now is it's not true.
I don't agree, Commissioner. We had a discussion before regarding this matter. Even when I was sending him the statement of the judgment, we also had this discussion.
Okay. No, but the record doesn't bear that out. Unless you have a recording, the record that we have here and my interpretation of it is it doesn't bear that out. What it tells me is that at 10:46 he asks you for a bank account which is not yours. There is no discussion between you, according to the record that is in front of us. There's no discussion between you, the two of you, and then you give him an account number which is not yours. So there was no discussion, at least on the face of this. Thank you, Ms. Boy.
Brigadier, then let's turn to the reasons that you say Mr. Matlala gave you. The first reason is that he didn't want his wife to find out about your relationship, gifts and monies, because she knows me only as a friend. That is paragraph 45.1. If you can then turn to, it's the annexures section of the file, so tab 3, the last tab at page 92. You noted earlier in your answer that Mr. Matlala used to send you money directly to your account. Do you see those transactions there, and can you confirm if that is your account?
That's correct. I can confirm.
And you see over that period, Mr. Matlala was sending you money directly to your account.
That's correct.
Would that not have triggered his wife?
No, I think by then he has not met the other one, the latest one. With the previous one, he could send money directly into my account.
So your understanding is, with the previous wife, he could send, there was no problem.
Yes.
This issue only arose with the
With the current one.
The current one.
That's correct.
And by the current one, you mean?
The current one that he's serving now.
Ms. Bowe, can I just understand, you say, what does page 31 represent?
My apologies.
The top part represent into into Brigadier Matjeng's account
92.
at 92. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so in that account, the Brigadier is confirmed to be hers. Okay, so this concern only arose with the latest wife, the current
Yes,
wife, sorry.
that's correct.
My phrasing. And then the second reason that he provides is that he doesn't want subs to know and to jeopardize your career.
That's correct.
Okay. And so you then agreed, no, actually you do agree to use this separate account.
That's correct.
The account that you provided, if you go to page 91, you confirm that that was the account that you provided at the top.
I confirm.
And just to orientate everyone, the top part is the transactions from one of Mr. Matlala's account to the account number that was provided by Brigadier Matjeng, and the bottom one is the contra account, being the account of Osizweni Meat Market.
And the first one, the Luxo Africa, there is that's the company, Mr. Matlala's company.
Yes.
And I think it's the same company, the bearer or owner of the card that was referred to during the testimony of...
Witness F.
Yes, all right, thank you.
Yes, it's the very same account.
Ms. Bowe, the heading, the first heading, it says into Brigadier Matjeng's bank account, and you've got an account number. And then the second one, it's Osizweni's bank account, and it's the same number. Is there not an error somewhere? The first heading?
Yes, it was represented as Brigadier Matjeng's bank account number, but it really should be the account number
Osizweni.
given by, which is
The account of
Osizweni.
Osizweni.
Yes, the account that was used to pay into that account would be the one that's in the table itself.
Yes, I understand
Yeah.
that part. Yes, thank you.
And then, Brigadier, is that then the amount of money that was then sent to you through that account?
Is the amount that was sent by Mr. Matlala through this account, but unfortunately, I never benefited from this money because Mr. Matlala was owing Osizweni Meat Hyper the money. On the first one, the lady just totally refused to give me the money. She said she can't give me the money if Mr. Matlala is owing her.
Maybe before we get into that, if you go to 45.3, you say there that you used that account because of your friend who owns a butchery.
That's correct?
So did you have an understanding with her before the money came in that you would be using her account for this purpose?
Yes, we had.
And at the point that the money was paid, she then refused to give you the money on account of Mr. Matlala's death?
That's correct.
Okay, then maybe to understand that, let's go back into the chats. In particular, if you look at the correspondence, let's start at page 9 at 1603 on the 10th of Jan.
Are you going to be coming back to the bank statements, Ms. Bowen?
Yes.
At
It-
91, at 91?
Yes, it was just to deal with the claim that she never benefited, and rather that,
Oh, all right,
yeah,
okay. Oh, you are dealing with that?
yes.
Oh, all right, thank you.
Page 9, my apologies. If you look at 1603, you say, did you do it? I need to pay and send proof of payment today. Over the page, at page 10, at 10:51, so this is the following day, 11 Jan 2025, you say, I spoke to Mudieri and she didn't receive it. Given my desperate situation, I thought you will gladly assist me. I guess once more, I don't deserve to be assisted by you. It's okay. He responds at 10:53, what you mean, Diva? And 10:53, he says, they made payment in front of me. I don't know why you saying such things. That money is going to reflect it, so we can please be patient. And then there's a call, and then on the following day, on the 12th of Jan at 18:10, he says, please ask your friend to check the balance. I just got notification that the transaction went through. And you respond at 18:15, yes, got it, thank you very much, and apologies. So from this exchange, it doesn't seem that you didn't get the money as intended.
No, the money went into the bank account of Osizweni Butcher. And the owner confirmed that she did receive the money, or the money is in her account.
So are you suggesting that when you say to him, yes, got it, thank you very much, you meant you had just confirmed with your friend that the money is in her account?
That's correct.
And then, did you then say to him at any point that this money didn't get to me?
Yes, I did.
And this wasn't, I guess, in any of, it's not in the text?
Yeah,
of
it's
this-
not on the text, but I did say to him that Mudieri has been complaining that you are owing her a lot of money and she's not going to give me that money.
Okay, and if you look at the text that you write to him just before that, I guess you say, I spoke to Mudieri, you see that text on page 10.
Yes, I see it.
It seems as if you would have spoken to Mudieri, and who confirms that the money hasn't been received, but it doesn't seem like Mudieri would be a hurdle.
It could be, sorry.
From the way the text is written, it
Yes.
seems that you spoke to Mudieri, who then responded to you and said the money hasn't been received yet, right?
That's correct.
And from that, it doesn't seem like Mudieri was a hurdle. It seems like Mudieri was somebody who was going to give you the money. At what point does then Mudieri become the person who doesn't give you the money?
That's correct, because for me, I saw it that maybe she was playing me so that the money can be paid in order for her to keep the money so that the debt can be paid through that money.
All right, I want to...
No, Brigadier. Page 10, the bottom email, you say, yes, got it. Thank you very much, and apologies. And you have an emoji of hands that ordinarily I used to say thank you. At this point, Mudieri has told you the money has come in. And if she had told you you're not getting the money, you would have said it here, and you would not have apologized because you don't have the money.
No, I said, yes, got it, she got it, thank you very much, and apologies.
No, you didn't say yes, she got it. You said yes,
Yes,
got
got
it.
it. Yeah,
Yes,
it's
so
okay.
you got the money. Let me finish. You got the money, 1. 2, you thank Mr. Matlala for the money. 3, you apologize for the tantrum that you threw earlier on about this. All of that is inconsistent with Mudiehi having just said to you, yes, I've got the money, but I'm keeping it, or even just saying, I've got the money. It's inconsistent, whatever explanation you seek to give us now. These documents, this WhatsApp exchanges is inconsistent with your explanation.
She confirmed that she got the money, Commissioner, and I thanked Mr. Matlala for transferring the money. But when I went to her so that she can transfer the money, she just totally refused.
And did you go back to Mr. Matlala to say, I'm still in trouble financially? Give me that 300,000 rands that you gave me, because you still have these people that are chasing you.
Yes, I did.
Did he give you?
No, he didn't.
Okay. Let me tell you what it suggests. Let me suggest to you what this is. In fact, it's not even a suggestion. Your WhatsApp message doesn't say, yes, she got it. You are now inserting she in a WhatsApp message where you are saying you've got it. You say, got it. You're not saying, Mudiehi got it. You say, yes, got it. Any reader of this WhatsApp message, except you, will understand it to mean you have the money. That's what you are telling him, that I now have the money. And any reader will understand this WhatsApp message to say you are thanking him very much because you have the money. You are no longer under the pressure that you were earlier on in the early WhatsApp messages. And any reader will say, you are apologizing because now you have the money. You were pressuring him, now you have the money. Your explanation just doesn't accord with this WhatsApp message, and it cannot be true.
Can I respond?
Yes, you can if you want to.
Okay, Commissioner, if you look at the message above this one, he's saying, please ask your friend to check her balance. That's him. He says, please ask your friend to check the balance. Then my response says, yes, got it.
Yes.
I'm responding to the question or to the request of check your friend if he got, she must check her balance. I'm responding to ask your friend.
Yeah. Well, you've had my view about it. I read your text word for word the way it is. It doesn't say, yes, she's got it. It says, yes, got it, thank you, and I apologize. Thank you, Ms. Bob.
Brigadier, staying in this line of questioning, if you go to, and I don't mean to deal with all three transactions now, but I fear we have to. If you go to page 24.
24.
Oh, sorry, my apologies of the chats.
Advocate
Page.
Of the chats.
Page
24.
Thank you.
Just to make sure that we don't steal your thunder, I want to ask questions about this conversation with Mudiehi. But if you are going to ask about it, I would rather leave it to you.
Commissioner Kumalo, what I wanted to show was the implausibility of Brigadier's response to the line of questioning that Commissioner Baloyi just engaged in. Just one tiny simple point. If you have regard to page 24, correct, which is a proof of payment of 100,000 sent to the account that you provided to Mr. Matlala. And Mr. Matlala provides you with this proof of payment on the 4th of February at 13:10. If it was correct that after Mudiehi refused to give you the first 100,000 that was sent or received on the 12th of Jan, by this stage, Mr. Matlala would know that you don't get the money when he sends it through this Osizweni meat market. Why would he send the next 100,000 through that same account and send you the proof of payment?
He sent it to Osizweni Butcher to pay his debt. And even on the third one, he was paying the money that he's owing Mudiere. But he will send a proof of payment for me so that I can inform Mudiere that the money has been paid into his account.
Brigadier, if you look at the message that follows just after the proof of payment is sent, and Mr. Matlala then says, I will calm you, still fighting with Udire and the lawyers. I don't understand your answer when you say he's sending you the proof of payment so that you can communicate that to Mudiere, yet he's clearly saying here that he's calming you.
I think he wanted to say, I will call you, still fighting with Udire and the lawyers.
Why is Mr. Matlala sending you this proof of payment as opposed to sending it to Mudiere?
I don't know.
You
I don't know.
cannot-
Maybe it's because
You cannot not know. They have a business relationship, according to you, in terms of which Mr. Matlala buys meat that runs into hundreds of thousands. You said, what, 300,000 and something?
yes, that's correct.
So
Commissioner.
they have a direct relationship. Why should you be the conduit when it comes to Mr. Matlala proving that he has made payments? Doesn't make sense at all. Why must you suddenly be the conduit? They have an existing business relationship.
They hadn't-
Mr. Matlala buys the meat there directly without your involvement. Is it so that that's without your involvement?
That's correct.
So why now, when he pays his debts, does he have to give the proof of payment to you for you to forward to Osizweni? Doesn't make sense, Brigadier. Think of something better than that.
In most of the time, when I will have queried him to pay his debts, he will pay them and send me a proof of payment to say, I've honored my debts.
I will tell you why you are saying this. Commissioner Baloyi engaged you on you saying you got it, thank you very much, and then the thank you emojis as well. And you said you actually did not get the money. Now you foresee, having gone through the bank's statements, you foresee that you are going to be questioned by the evidence leaders and possibly the commissioners as well on why there would have been a payment in January of 2025, there would have been a payment in April of 2025, there would have been another payment in March of 2025, all of which are 100,000 rand each. So you foresee that it does not make sense for Mr. Matlala to continue paying into this account when you actually do not receive the payments, and you come up with this story that he owed money to Osizweni. That is what is happening here, and we see through it, Brigadier. We see right through it. Your comment?
It's not a story, Commissioner. Indeed, he owed Osizweni Butcher the money.
And why do you suddenly become an agent in all of that when they have been dealing with each other without your involvement? Why do you suddenly become an agent?
I was not an agent, and I think the Osizweni Butcher, the lady, she was not the only person that I assisted to get Mr. Matlala to pay them.
And why was that your business? You should have actually been mad with Osizweni that they took away 100,000 rand that you would have used to pay in respect of your car that got burnt down. You would have been met with Osizweni. Why it should have been your business to see to it that they are paid escapes me.
I think I have a way of talking to him so that he can honor.
But why was it your business to do that?
I felt sorry for the lady because she has a good heart. Mr. Matlala is owing her, and he's been owing her for quite a number of years.
You have said that the 100,000 rand was paid so that you could make a payment in respect of your car that was bent down. And because now you were being chased by attorneys, and you said this was by no means a gratification in the sense of corruption/bribery. I will suggest to you that a plausible explanation for these payments, 300,000 rand on what we see, was actually what you say they were not. That is, the payments were not. Is that not the plausible explanation? Because otherwise, what you say does not make sense. In particular, why do you become a conduit for Osizweni when Mr. Matlala was dealing directly with that business? So the plausible explanation for me was that this was actually a gratification, or at least, to soften it, indications are that it was a gratification. And you would then assist him in whatever way you could in respect of the contract. What's your comment?
Commissioners, I don't disagree that the money was meant for me. And I don't disagree that I'm the one who requested the money. But at the end of the day...
when you say the money, I refer to 300,000 rand. So when you say the money was intended for you, you are referring to the 300,000 rand?
No, I'm referring to the 100,000.
Okay, continue about the plausibility of what I'm positing to you. Please comment on that.
The 100,000, even though it was meant for me, at the end of the day, I never received that money due to the debt that Matlala had with Osizweni Butcher.
And then for the remaining part of the debt, you suddenly become the conduit for the payment of that debt.
I think it was only just the one.
Just the one.
Yeah.
Just the one Ms. Power referred you to.
Yes.
I will leave it because I've already asked you questions around why you suddenly became a conduit in that regard.
Can I, just to make sure, Brigadier, that I understand your evidence, are you admitting that you received the second 100,000 that was paid in February and you received the March one? Or are you saying Mudiekhi took all of this money?
All three of them I never received.
Okay. And so the January one, because you asked Mr. Matlala the first time, at least that we can see, not ask actually. He says to you on the 12th of January, please ask your friend to check a balance. I just got notification that the transaction went through. That's Mr. Matlala to you at 1810. And then at 1815 on the 12th of January, you say, yes, got it, thank you very much, and apologies. You say you never received that 100,000 rands. Because on this schedule on page 91, there's a transaction from Mr. Matlala to Osizweni between the 12th and the 13th of January. So we know it has to do with that WhatsApp message that I just read now, right?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Okay. And you say you never received that 100,000 rands.
I never received it.
And you told Mr. Matlala,
Yes, I did.
okay, that Mudiege has kept the money.
Yes.
Okay. Why would you have him pay the next amount in February? You've told us in your statement that he owed her 338. You've made a point of correcting so that, and it fits in perfectly with these payments. You made a point of correcting that it's 338,000, not 38,000. Now, if Mudiege kept, so you knew how much he owed her, 338. If Mudiege keeps the first 100, why would you have Mr. Matlala pay into the same account the second 100?
Because I wanted her to pay his debt.
No.
He was owing quite a lot of people, and in most of the instances, I will intervene.
No, this is money meant for you, which you never got. So what do you mean you wanted him to pay his debts? This is your money. It's coming to you. It's supposed to come to you in February. It's not Mudiege's money. It's not Mr. Matlala settling a debt, at least not to other people, maybe to you. But we know that this is money meant for you in February.
That's
But
correct.
Mudiege has already kept your January money. Why would you still have Mr. Matlala pay into Mudiege's account when you know that he owes her and Mudiege keeps the money? Why would you do that? It's not normal human conduct that when they've kept your money, you say, oh, to Mr. Matlala, pay again into that same account, where I know and I expect you will do exactly the same thing.
I never said to him he must pay again to that account, and I never requested the February and the March money. He paid it into that account knowing very well that he's owing Osizweni.
Yes, I'm sorry, can you just make it make sense, please? You see, so you say the money at page 91 was meant for you, right? All of it, those 100,000 rands.
No, the first one, only the first one.
I thought you accepted that even the February was meant for you.
No, it was not for me.
And the third one?
It was not for me.
Okay, so you know that he was paying Mudiege. You knew that. It wasn't your money. He wasn't helping you.
I knew that he was paying his debt to Osizweni Butcher, but the first money
Yes.
is the one that was meant for me.
So the second and third were not meant for you.
They were not meant for me.
Okay, and so at page 24, where he sends you proof of payment for February, you say why he sent you that proof of payment?
He sent me a proof of payment to show that he's paying his debt from Mudiege.
Okay. Why did he need to show you that he's paying Mudiege?
Because most of the time I will urge him to pay the people that he's owing. I will urge him to pay the service providers. I will also urge him to pay the doctors. And he will call me back to say, I have paid so and so, or either send me a proof of payment to say we already did as a
Yeah.
company.
Well, Brigadier, maybe let me, in fairness to you, say to you that I do not believe you for what it matters. Yeah, I think you're not being honest with us about this payments and this Mudiege issues. These are monies that were meant for you. These are monies that you received. And when Mr. Matlala sends you proof of payment on page 24, it is to confirm to you that I have paid. The money is in that account. When you say, got it, thank you, apologies, it's all money meant for you. What you're telling us now and trying to explain away these payments as money is owed to Mudiege, that's not true. In fact, it is false. I want to put that to you. You can comment if you want to.
No, I'm not going to comment, Commissioner.
Advocate Paul, let me deal with my questions now because they follow from what has been asked. Brigadier, you were good friends with Modiegi, correct?
That's correct.
And before you gave Mr. Matlala this account number, you must have told Modiegi that you are in a desperate situation and you desperately need money, correct?
That's correct.
So she was aware of your desperate situation.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And a good friend that she is would have understood that you need this money.
Sometimes they say money can come between friends.
Yeah. And the fact that you kept inquiring means you were desperate. You wouldn't even wait for Monday because Mr. Matlala even says to you, wait, it's a weekend, be patient. That's how desperate you were. Correct?
Not that desperate, because already I was paying that money on a monthly basis from my salary.
Yes.
But now, the frustration that I had with him is that here we are once again. He promised me money, he's not delivering. And it was not the first time that it happens that he will promise me something and he doesn't deliver. And we will stop talking to each other.
This is what I find difficult to believe, that a friend of yours, knowing that you are desperate for this money because you want to settle a judgment debt, would take advantage of you and use the money for her own benefit and not care that you desperately needed this money. I find that hard to believe.
From my side, I understood her situation, because if you are owed money for a long period, now the person that is owing you, he's paying the money which is meant for another person. I will also keep the money,
Now,
despite my friend's situation.
did you continue to become good friends with Modiegi after this incident?
No, we didn't.
The friendship ended.
It did not end, but it was no longer a nice relationship, friendship.
Now, if what you are saying about the first payment is correct, the normal reaction as chair put to you would have been to tell Mr. Matlala, I don't care about Modiegi anymore. Don't even pay her what you owe her. She's a bad person. That's the normal reaction, that she's a thief. She stole my money. She's not a loyal friend. She knew about my desperate situation. She took advantage of it. Whatever you owe her, don't pay her anymore. Let her sue you for it, but I don't care about her anymore. That would have been the normal reaction.
It will be unfair of me to react in that manner, knowing Modiegi's situation very well. And again, knowing how Mr. Matlala is always assisting people when they have funerals, he will go there or he will send people to go and collect the funeral packs from Modiegi. So if I say don't pay money anymore, then the people of the community will not be assisted.
Last question. If we were to call Modiegi to this commission and ask her about these payments, and if she confirms that you did get the payments, what should this commission do with your evidence on this point and the rest of your evidence? Remember, I qualified it with if. If we call Modiegi to come and give evidence and she confirms that you got these payments, what should this commission do with your evidence on this point and on all the other issues?
I guess I must be charged because I lied under oath.
I'm glad you understand that.
Can I just check this with you? You say to Commissioner Khumalo that the relationship with Modiegi has ended because the money has come between you two, right?
It's not ended.
It's no longer good. Yes, it's no longer good. So, before, when you gave Mr. Matlala Modiegi's number, Osizweni Butcheries, bank account details. You had a good relationship at that point.
That's correct,
Okay.
Commissioner.
Then he pays the 100,000 rands that is meant for you.
That's correct, Commissioner.
You don't get it.
That's correct, Commissioner.
And your relationship continues to be good.
Not good.
Sorry, say that?
Not good.
Okay. So if at that point she's taken your money and the relationship is not good, how do you go to Mr. Matlala and say, pay Mudieki her money that you owe her? When your relationship is no longer good, she's kept your money. You now go to him and say, you know what, pay her, you owe her. How do you do that, and why should we believe that happened?
I never went to him and say, pay Mudieki the money that you owe her after she kept my money. I just indicated to him that you are owing Mudieki a lot of money and she doesn't want to give me that money. Please make sure that you pay her the money. And like I'm saying, Commissioner, I have intervened in a lot of people that Mr. Matlala
No,
was
don't tell
owing.
me. No, please don't tell me about other people. I'm interested in the story that you have told us. Remember, you've already told us something, so I'm really interested in just that story. And I'm interested in it because it does not make sense that your friend keeps your money. Remember, you are desperate. You are very desperate. And that's why you are harassing. Harassing is my word. I'm not meaning it in a negative way. But you apologize eventually because you appreciate that your conduct towards him about this money was quite forceful. So you're desperate for this money because you are running, these guys are chasing you. Your friend gives you a bank account for you to receive payment. She keeps the money. Your friendship, as one would expect, your friendship, if someone has kept my money, I would react like you immediately. My friendship with them gets affected immediately. What I don't understand is after that, how are you still the same person who's still desperate? Because you haven't told us that you got the money elsewhere, right? She took your 100,000 rands. You haven't told us, well, I went and got it somewhere. What you actually have told us is Mr. Matlala didn't replace that money that Mudieki keeps. But you're the same person that says to him, you owe Mudieki, pay her. That's not consistent with human conduct of a person who's desperate for money and who's been betrayed by a friend who's keeping her money, notwithstanding her desperation, and then you go and you feel sorry for her because she's desperate. It just doesn't make sense, that, and it's improbable that things happened the way you describe them. It's just improbable. Do you want to comment?
I don't know how to comment further than what I have commented, Commissioner, but that's the sequence, that's the way it happened.
A different question arising from your earlier discussion with the chairperson. In page 92, you've got that list of payments to you starting in 2019 to 2021, and you say you accept that they indicate that they come from Mr. Matlala's different companies, Falcon Cat, Medicare 24, Black AK, and another one from him personally, it indicates, or at least it says, Vusimuzi Matlala, you've confirmed you received those payments. Now, in the period between 2019 June, which is what this schedule is, to September 2021, you have received from Mr. Matlala a total of 113,500 rands. That's what you've received. And they're broken down into small amounts, 10,000, 3,000, 10,000, 10, 10, 10, 15, 5, 20, 10, and then 10. How do you explain the sudden escalation? I mean, he used to give you small numbers. And I'm asking this because the chair earlier suggested to you that the huge amounts that you now receive, the 100, that you are now being paid suggests that there may well have been a part of it, if not all of it, being gratification. Now, if you look at that huge amounts, the hundreds that you're receiving vis-a-vis what you were receiving in 2019, all of to 2021, all of which totals to just over 100,000 rand over a longer period than what you get in January, February, March. It does suggest that what you now receive after the Medicare contract may well be or include gratification for your role in managing this contract, the facilitation that you are making, the role that we see you playing now, the active role you are playing in this contract. That's what it looks like.
I do not agree, Commissioner. Maybe by then his financial status was a little bit low, hence he could give the 10,000 rand and the 20,000 rand. And now his financial status
he's become richer now. That's why he's giving you so much money. That's what it is, right? That's what you want to say.
His financial status has changed for the better, and knowing my current situation that by then I was struggling to buy a vehicle, we were pushing so that he can buy me a car.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, I see that it's 4 minutes past, but can I ask one more question so that when we return I can move to the next chat?
It relates to this subject.
Yes.
All right. Please go ahead.
Brigadier, just one small thing. If you look at after the message where you say, yes, got it, thank you very much, and
Which
apologies,
page?
on page 10 of the chat. In particular, if you look at the days that follow, right? So the next chat, or rather, there's a call that happens on the 16th, there's a series of calls thereafter, more calls on the 17th, and then on the 17th at 10:15, you text Mr. Matlala, morning Mr. V, and from your interaction with Chair earlier, this is your way of calling him affectionately. Now, if you then consider that from the 11th, you were desperately asking for assistance, he says, calm down. On the 12th, you're checking again, you say, thank you, got it, apologies, and then you don't get the money. So you're still in that desperate situation, and I use desperate because that's the wording you use in that text at 10:51. You're still in the desperate situation, yet if you look at the days that follow, there's nothing that says you communicated with him your desperation, or is it that you gave up then asking?
By this time, he promised me that once he's settled, then he'll see what he can do.
So your evidence
But remember,
after he settles the entire 300,000 for
not
Osisweni?
yet. No, it's not yet. This is still in January.
Yes.
The other monies came in February as well as in March.
No, I'm saying to you that here you display that you're in a desperate situation. You say, thank you, you got it, but you didn't get it. But there's nothing in the days that follow that displays that sense of desperation continued because you didn't get the money. And in fact, the next text that you send on the 17th, you back to the affectionate morning, Mr. V.
Yes, because I understood that it was not his fault that money did not come through to me. He did what he was supposed to do from his side.
And can I just add something to that, to Ms. Bowe? You see, your last text of the 12th January, it's where you say, got it, thank you. And I think that's what Ms. Bowe is seeking your comment on, is on these records, your next communication with Mr. Matlala is the 16th. of January. So 12, 13, 14, 15. In fact, the 16th is at 1:45. So the 13, the 12th, after you said got it, at 18:15. After that, you don't call Mr. Matlala to say Mudiekhi is refusing to give me the money. You don't call. And the next call between the two of you is on the 16th of January. So after Mudiekhi told you I'm keeping the money, you say nothing to Mr. Matlala, at least according to these records. So even your earlier answer that you did tell him, certainly not on the 12th, not on the 13th, not on the 14th, and not on the 15th, which is really strange and curious for someone who from the 9th was calling intermittently, sending messages, many per day, as you know. You were doing that, saying, where's the money, where's the money? Send me proof that you have paid it. You did that, and we have all of that on page 9 and page 10. And then you stop at, yes, got it, thank you very much. You stop, and the next time you engage with him is the 16th. That's inconsistent with your conduct earlier about your desperate situation and someone who didn't get the money that was paid into Osizweni's account, which they desperately need. It's truly inconsistent. It cannot be true, what you're telling us.
Commissioners must just take note that in between the calls, there will also be visits. It's not only that we were restricted to the calls and the WhatsApp messages. There will be visits whereby he will come and talk to me. And after the money, I did not go directly after it was transferred to Mudiekhi to request the money or to discuss how he will give me the money. Hence, maybe after that, there are no calls, I'm not saying anything to him. But in between this chat, we will see each other maybe twice in a week, 3 times in a week.
Are you now saying to us that you told him during a visit that we know you didn't tell him on the phone because there was no telephone calls between you?
It might be, Commissioner.
We know, no. Let me finish my question. We know you didn't do a call, you didn't tell him on the phone on the 12th, and the next time you talk to him is on the 16th. We know you didn't WhatsApp him in that period. Are you now telling us that you told him during a visit, and it has to be because it's not on your recorded calls and WhatsApp messages? It can be, it might be. If it's not recorded here, as I've pointed out, there's no record of calls, there's no record of WhatsApp messages. You could only have told him on a visit.
I'm not sure which word should I be using because I said it might be, and you say I must not use it might be.
Yes, and might be means you're uncertain.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to you, you can do better than that. If it's not on a call, which we've agreed there are no calls. After you said, thank you, got it. There are no calls until the 16th. We've agreed there are no WhatsApp messages. And I'm saying, and you say, well, there were visits in between. And I say, well, then you could only have told him during one of your visits. The answer is obvious. It's an obvious, of course, it would have been one
During
of the
the
visits.
visits.
Otherwise, it didn't happen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Brigadier, just the last question. And then after this, you never gave him an alternative account number to send you the money?
No, I never.
Thank you.
Let's adjourn and come back at 14:15.